Okay, Mr. Mars, would you like to give us a little presentation of what the proposal is? Before you start, Peter, I want to acknowledge that we did receive a letter, unsigned. We don't have any idea who sent it or what, but we did receive a letter from Friends of Webster Trails and somebody else on there.
Does everybody want to raise your hands that was involved in the
Well,
meeting?
I'm not asking for that. It's too late for that. It should be on the paper.
Sure.
It means nothing to me now. But we did receive it. We sent it to the town, and as per usual, the town did forward this to all the board members. We already had it, so it really wasn't necessary to make envelopes and bring them up again to the town tonight, this evening. We really didn't need them. We already had it. Anyways, with that, we'll address this as we go along. Go ahead, Mark. Peter, I'm sorry.
Thank you. My name is Peter Barge with BME Associates, appearing tonight on behalf of Grove Underhill LLC, who is the owner of the property and the developer of the proposed property. With me this evening is Mitch Brodsky and Jeff Bell from Grove Underhill. As you mentioned, we're here this evening. It's a continuation of from our last appearance back on June 4th of 2024, where we brought forward the proposed preliminary and final subdivision application for the proposed subdivision of the subject property. Just to refresh the board's memory, what the proposal is, it's a proposed 8-lot single-family home residential subdivision of 5.5 acres. The property is zoned R3 residential. The plan and the development is proposed, or the plan has been prepared and the development is proposed as a conventional subdivision per direction we received from this board back during the concept plan review stage at the end of 2023. The lots have been prepared in conformance with the R3 zoning district criteria, which includes a minimum lot areas of 22,000 square feet, minimum lot widths of 100 feet, front setbacks of 50 feet, including 50 feet to New York State Route 250, 15-foot side setbacks, and 50-foot rear setbacks. Since our last appearance back in June, we went through the various comments that we received from this board from that meeting, along with public comment, also with comments that were received from the town's consulting engineer and from the town's PRC. Result of that is excuse me, is on July 17th, we submitted revised plans to this board, and our goal this evening, or our purpose this evening, is to go through with you what the plan revisions are. The primary plan revision, really, which was the primary issue discussed at the June meeting, was that the plan no longer now proposes an extension of Conifer Cove Lane eastward to serve the proposed development and connect to New York State Route 250. Conifer Cove Lane will remain as it is today, as a dead-end street serving those existing residents on Conifer Cove Lane. Through consultation with the town highway superintendent and town staff, the design's been prepared. We're looking to reserve a minimum 30-foot vegetative buffer at the end of Conifer Cove Lane, so there's both a physical and visual barrier between the two streets. So as you can see up on the screen, the layout, the proposed layout now is the subdivision would still be served by a proposed dedicated street to be named Sage Forest Lane. We will label the maps accordingly. That street name was just recently approved by the County 911 office. The layout of this street has been reviewed with the town highway superintendent and the fire marshal. The road is proposed at just about 600 feet in length. It will terminate at its western end in a T turnaround that meets the criteria of the New York State Building and Fire Code. The pavement width would be 26 feet wide, plus the concrete gutters, and it would be situated within a 60-foot right-of-way. The proposed access point onto New York State Route 250 has been reviewed with the New York State Department of Transportation. They have reviewed the access location, find it acceptable. The access point meets the required stopping site distance and the recommended intersection site distance for the proposed location. And that information is all documented on the final site plans that were submitted. We just recently met with the town back just Thursday, August 1st, and this meeting also included the town supervisor. The purpose of that meeting was to clarify the developer's intent as it relates to this subdivision, as it relates to the dedication of the proposed road. It is the developer's intent, and he confirmed this in this meeting back on Thursday, that these lots are to be subdivided for sale lots. The lots will be sold as single-family lots for single-family home construction. It is not intended to be a rental community. The town made their position very clear that if it were to be a rental community, that the road would not be accepted in dedication, it would not be a public road, it would in turn become a private road. But again, to clarify, that is not the developer's intent. It is his intent for these lots to be for sale, single-family home lots. The remainder of the subdivision design is very consistent with the original application which was presented and reviewed back on the June 4th meeting. As we mentioned, the site has been laid out, the subdivision has been prepared to conform to the R3 zoning lot standards and zoning criteria, and the subdivision design itself has been prepared to meet the standards of the town of Webster's design standards. These items include, as the already previously mentioned, lot standards that have been established. The site will be served, or the 8 proposed lots would be served by public water and public sewer that would be extended from existing facilities on Conifer Cove Lane. The project will include a comprehensive stormwater management plan that's been prepared per the town of Webster's standards and the New York State DEC's stormwater design manual. The stormwater management plan will include a stormwater management facility that will be located up in the northwest corner of the property. It's the area highlighted in blue on the rendering. This stormwater management plan maintains the current drainage patterns through the property, which is a south to north pattern. The facilities have been designed to provide the required water quality treatment areas and to attenuate the water quality runoff, or water quantity runoff, excuse me. All that design has met the standards of the DEC. This is summarized in the engineer's report and the stormwater management plan that has been provided to the town for town engineer and staff review. The other key component of that stormwater management plan is it does include a construction erosion control plan to address stormwater and erosion during the construction process. The last thing we would like to address this evening as it relates to our follow-up appearance here this evening is regards to the State Environmental Quality Review Act, SEQR. As we have put forward, it is our belief that this proposed action is an unlisted action pursuant to New York State Part 617.4 and 617.5, in that this proposed development does not meet any of the Type 1 thresholds. We do understand that the town has interpreted a memo of understanding from the New York State Department of Health that realty subdivisions should be a Type 1 action. We're pursuing clarifying that with the DEC, the Department of Environmental Conservation, because it is the DEC that's actually charged with administering the SEQR regulations and instigating any changes. We don't have that clarification. So with that being said, what we have done, we have provided you with the resubmittal, the long form Part 1 EAF, such that if the town does determine that this is a Type 1 action, you can proceed with your determination, because we are providing the EAF Part 1 as required, along with our plans and the engineer's report. Regardless if it's an unlisted or a Type 1 action, I don't think there's any doubt that the planning board is the correct entity to be the lead agency, so we would look to the planning board to declare their intent to be lead agency for seeker. So that's really all we wanted to do this evening, was go over with you what the changes that have been made since we last appeared in June, which that primary focus being as to the concern that was raised last June about Conifer Cove Lane and its connectivity out to Webster Road, and how the applicant has revised his plan accordingly to address that concern raised.